Welcome to the Nerd Party.
Hello and welcome to another special Between Takes episode of Missing Frames. I'm your host, Shawn Eastridge. We've been covering all things Atlanta Film Festival through last week, over the weekend. This week, it's never stopping. The festival may be over, but we're still going. We're keeping the dream alive. So a couple days ago, I had the distinct pleasure of chatting with Jocelyn DeBoer and Luebbe about their upcoming comedy, Greener Grass, which they not only wrote and directed, but starred in as well. Is there anything they can't do? Jocelyn and Dawn got their start at the Upright Citizens Brigade in New York City before heading to LA. They teamed up to form Gulp Splash Productions and started making short films like Buzz and The Arrival. Now they're making the jump into features with Greener Grass, which just won the 2019 Atlanta Film Festival Award for Best Narrative Feature. IFC Midnight picked it up last month, so expect to see a release sometime later this year in theaters and on streaming platforms. This movie is bonkers, and I say that with utmost affection. It's hilarious and weird and gross and tons of fun. And hey, speaking of hilarious and tons of fun, but definitely not gross or weird, Jocelyn and Dawn were a huge delight to talk to. They are so sweet and just all around awesome people. They walked me through Greener Grass's production. We talked about some of their favorite reactions to the film, some of the interpretations some people have made about it, and so much more. I love chatting with them, and I'm so grateful they took some time away from being super cool award winners to chat with me. Just a heads up, the conversation is a little spoilery. Is that a word, spoilery? I'm making it a word now, but it's not too spoilery until around the 29-minute mark when we spoil something specific that happens later near the end of the film, so you may want to steer clear. Additionally, we recorded in like a hotel hangout spot, a cool little lounge, so prepare yourself for the best background music you've ever heard on a podcast episode in the history of podcasts. We're talking pulled straight from the 1970s, delivered right to your eardrums. I'm going to go ahead and declare this as an artistic choice as well. I totally meant for this to happen, and I guarantee you're going to love it. So make sure you're following these cool cats on Instagram at Jocelyn DeBoer, all one word, and at Dawn Luebbe, also all one word. And hey, check out their awesome short films on their website. It's just gulpsplash.com. But don't watch the Greener Grass short film. It spoils everything about the feature. We were just talking about spoilers. We don't want you to get spoiled. So let's just go ahead, now that we've gotten all that out of the way, let's push off, shall we?
Now available to own on video cassette.
First and foremost, thank you so much for being here. This is so exciting. Thank you for being here in our little space. This is great.
Well, we're so happy you came to our beautiful hotel.
Yeah.
I mean, people can't see, but it's very Lynchian.
Yes.
Which is very appropriate.
Surrounded by velvet furniture and leopard carpet.
Yeah, lamps with fringe.
Everyone is so...
Yes.
They're so jealous listening to this right now.
Yes.
What do you have to say to all the jealous people listening?
You cannot be us. You are not here. You will not be. And that's how it is.
That's it?
Yeah.
But we're so happy to talk with you.
Well, I'm really excited to have you here because, first of all, you were just telling me this just won Best Narrative Feature. What is it?
Yes.
We're so completely excited. We just won Best Narrative Feature at the Atlanta Film Festival. And also our cinematographer, Lowell Meyer, won Best Cinematography.
Yes. We actually shot our film down here in Atlanta. So it was really special to be here, and we were so grateful to the festival that they programmed us. The programmer team last night showed up in pastels with a soccer ball baby, which you'll understand if you see the film. And it was just really wild, and we got to bring our crew and the cast that was there up on stage, and it was very cool. So.
They rolled out a green carpet for us.
Instead of a red carpet, yeah.
I wish I'd seen all this. I did come and see the movie. I was there, I promise you. I wanted to ask, in terms of audience reactions, when you've screened this movie, because I'd seen it once.
I'd watched the screener and I was like, I have to see this in a theater to see how an audience reacts to it, because the movie is so crazy. And I'm like, and I feel like you'll know within the first few minutes whether or not you're on board or not. But how is it fun? Is it still fun to see it with an audience and feel them kind of reacting? And...
It's so fun, and I'd love to pick your brain too about the reaction.
Let's do it.
Like we've found that thank God, knock on wood, it's played really well. And I would say at first we were thinking, like, like the first night of Sundance, the audience was like, it took a little bit for them to warm up. And then once the buzz got around at the festival that, it's a comedy and whatnot, people came in very hot from the beginning. But I would say that now that we've been around to a few festivals, the audiences have come in very hot, which, knock on wood, that helps. But
it's so interesting though, like we've played in a handful of cities now, and it's so interesting to see regionally what jokes really hit in one place and ones that don't as much. It's just cool to see with different audiences.
What's the one where you can tell they kind of are like, okay, we get it? What's the first big laugh typically? I guess this is a little spoilery, but that's okay. That's all right.
This one is literally in the first 30 seconds. So the kids are playing soccer in the beginning, and my son Julian is just standing in the field while all the other kids run around, and he yawns, and it's very dramatic.
Yes.
And we can feel that, like, when that gets a huge laugh, we're like, oh, they're really on board. Because it's not, that funny, but it's like, you can feel the excitement in the room, which is fun. But yeah, I'm curious how the audience reaction differed or didn't with what you were expecting. You watched it.
I honestly was not expecting so much. I was expecting a little more like bafflement, like people being like, what's happening? I felt real cool. I was like patting myself on the back, like I've seen this and I know what's gonna happen. So I was trying to be like cool, but then it was like I don't know why I thought that. Everyone was really immediately into it, so I felt like, oh, these are my people. This is exactly what I would hope. But one of my personal favorite moments that I wasn't expecting people to find as funny as I did, but they did. It got applause. Was the after the ref comes over and says he can't be on the field. He's too whatever. And he repeats it and mocks him, and everyone laughs. And then the handshake, when they shake hands, I loved that, and I wasn't expecting anyone to find it as funny as I did. And then the audience went nuts for that.
That is Beck Bennett and Neil Casey, who play our husbands, improvising. That was in the script, of course, that we all laughed so much. But the high five and the handshakes they came up with on their own, and it is one of our favorite moments, and a moment that people point out quite often.
Yeah.
So we just could go on and on about how talented Beck Bennett and Neil Casey are. They are so funny and just brought so much to their characters. So we feel so grateful that.
So how did you two meet?
Yeah.
How did you two start hanging out and become besties?
I was thinking I should say that I'm Jocelyn with this voice.
That's right.
Yeah, and I'm Dawn with this voice.
I'm always curious when I listen to podcasts.
Do you think I should say who I am? Do you think they'll know?
Yeah, they'll have no idea.
I'm Shawn.
Good, now everyone's no longer
We've all been introduced. Good.
Oh, well, Dawn and I met, we were put on a house team together at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater in New York.
Nice.
So it was a sketch team called Onassis that is still our families basically today. So it's a group of 12 people doing improv, or sketch mostly.
Yeah, that was back in 2011. And then Jocelyn and I both moved out to LA circa 2015. And that was we were the kind of the only two people from our group, our family, to move out west. And I think that was when we were we should do something together. And while we were on the sketch team in New York together, I was always so drawn to Jocelyn's pitches for sketches, and I just was her mind works in such a strange way.
Do you remember one of those pitches?
They're all very the weird and loving. We both love to explore, often in a domestic setting, but explore manners and social like subtleties.
Right.
Yes.
In a very heightened way.
Yeah, in a lot of, like familial relationships and, daughters and mothers and,
Like one sketch that we pitched maybe together, or at least we both were like starring in this sketch that comes to mind is The Parade. And it's not gonna sound funny when I describe it, but it's just, it was a family who like kind of seems like down on their luck and sad, and then the dad comes home from work and announces that he's going to be in the parade in town, and it's like they've won the lottery. Like, Papa's gonna be in the parade.
And there's like one very, very sickly boy in the family that like gets so excited and then coughs
Blood
for like
or something.
blood and like, has these very long coughing fits.
And you came up with this?
Yes, in some way, and it's our whole team too.
Our buddy Mike Stallings, who was on the team, that was kind of it.
That's fantastic.
Anyway,
I
we're a
love
bunch
no.
of
All of this
weirdos.
is great. No. That's great. So you moved to LA. Was the intention to make movies, or were you hoping to get into filming or television?
I think both of us, we were both actors for a long time, and I think in the back of our heads, we always wanted to direct and thought we would be doing that. But in New York, it's like your life is so busy and you're like doing so much, and we both like worked on a lot of like commercials and college humor shoots and blah blah. We were like, oh, we feel so busy as actors, and then once we got to LA, we like weren't doing anything, and that's when we were like, oh, we should make something. But we didn't direct. The first thing we made together was the Greener Grass short.
Okay.
And someone from our sketch team, Onassis, Paul Berganti, who's one of our close friends and mentors, directed Greener Grass, and truly really still shepherds us in our careers in such a great way. But it was, what happened with that experience is that Paul delivered an incredible director's cut of the movie, and then he had to go back to SNL. He's the digital video director at SNL. And we were left with the color correct still needing to be done, and sound, and some other edit polishing things. And we really got to sit in the edit and things and do that. And we had never done that before in any way. And we really credit that experience to being what taught us how to write for film.
Right.
And seeing what shots are needed and etc. We were like, oh, we get this more. And then we made a second short film very soon after Greener Grass called Buzz, where we hired another one of our buddies, this incredible artist, Mitch McGee, to direct it. And Mitch really let us kind of shadow him in the whole process of prep, and he guided us in writing a lot. And after that experience on Buzz, I think we were like, we felt confident and excited to try to direct something ourselves, which is when we made The Arrival, which is our third short film, and the first one we directed.
Which one's your favorite?
Oh my gosh, we always joke that Buzz is.
Yeah. I feel like Buzz is our kind of forgotten middle child that we just have such a unique relationship with, and we love it and root for it.
Yes.
So Buzz, we'll say Buzz.
Yeah.
Buzz is the best.
I think it was our most challenging acting roles that we've had in a way, and I think because too we credit Buzz kind of as being our film school, that it has such a special place in our hearts. We're learning so much.
It's learned so much.
So what did you think in terms of why Greener Grass over The Arrival or Buzz as the feature? What made you decide okay, this is the one, if this is going to be our first feature, that's what we want to do?
Yeah.
Oh, and also, what was it like to expand the short into a feature?
Totally.
Let's do all of it. Yeah.
We've had quite a journey with Greener Grass.
Yeah, when we made this short, we had no intention at all of making it a feature.
And honestly, we were making a web series. If you watch the short, it's 7 vignettes.
I did read that, yeah.
Or 8 or something, yeah. And we were gonna release it on YouTube basically. And then we saw Jenny Slate and Dean Flesherkamp have this web series we love called Catherine. And we were watching it around the time we were making Greener Grass, and we were kind of Googling it and saw that Catherine got into Sundance. And they just put the episodes together, and it was a short film. And so on the drive to Calabasas, where we shot the Greener Grass short, we decided we wanted to submit Greener Grass as a short. And at the time, there was no narrative. Like, our characters were the exact same, like, interchangeable completely. And we were like, well, what if, like, Lisa is jealous of Jill, and we were telling Paul, our director, on the day, like, we want to add these little.
You were
shots.
literally making this up on the spot.
On the day.
Okay.
Like, by the way, this is our narrative, and we're gonna make this a short instead of a web series.
Yes.
Surprise.
And we came up with the end like that, and so anyway, this has all been a great surprise. But so back in 2017, we actually sold Greener Grass as a television show to IFC. And IFC had kind of approached our managers with interest, and we were like, yes, we do want to pitch something. And we came up with, a rough concept of what 6 seasons of the show would be.
Right.
And we pitched it to them, and they bought it. And so we were working on that for about 5 or 6 months. Drew, Daniel, and Caroline over there, we're such incredible development executives. It basically, their boss got switched out, and then, after we had been there for 5 months working on the pilot, they got a new supervisor who then wiped their entire slate, which we were on. But, we were so sad at the time, but it's so good for us because we were really afraid that we wouldn't get to direct the pilot or the TV show because we had only directed The Arrival.
But The Arrival's so good. I mean, I feel like that's enough to be like, we can do this. Come
we
on.
thought we could do it. Thank you for saying
You're
that.
welcome. But they were kind of maybe.
We
never asked.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were just afraid it would be a hard sell to an executive that didn't know us.
Yeah.
Versus to sell ourselves to direct it versus a very seasoned, experienced TV director.
Okay.
Yeah, but actually the TV show was so different from the movie. There was this whole dark underworld, and a lot of things were explained that we don't explain in the movie, and we're so much happier that we just stripped it down to the basics, and we got to have complete creative control of the vision. And
basically, you're telling me there's a sequel in the works. There's a whole,
my gosh.
there's a whole Marvel universe happening with Greener
We
Grass.
joke with Natalie, our producer, that 50 years from now, well, maybe 30 years from now, we're gonna get the whole team back together and make Golden Grass. Where Jill and Lisa are now senior citizens, living in Miami or something.
Yes, totally.
But nobody addresses that anyone's aged.
Oh,
Everyone's
no,
just
not in
behaving
any
exactly
way.
the same.
Yes, no, they still have braces.
This is perfect. This is breaking Missing Frames breaking news.
Exactly.
So you expand this short to feature length. You're like, at what point were you like, let's just do this, let's make it ourselves?
It was actually, we were gonna then pitch it as a TV show again. And this funny thing happened where I went down to Austin to shoot Thunder Road. So I play Jim Cummings' wife in Thunder Road. And we were down there with our producer, Natalie, who also produced that. And at that same time, Dawn went to the Napa Valley Film Festival.
Yeah, The Arrival was screening there, this week. The couple weeks Jocelyn was down in Austin. And we both had these experiences apart from each other where we were, around indie filmmakers and really immersed in that world, in the feature world. And we came back to LA and we both had this same urgency to make something and make it a feature. And we're like, well, if all these other people are doing it, let's do it. We can do that.
Yeah.
And it just felt incredibly exciting and urgent
Yes.
to make something. And
So from that decision, how long did it take to get everything together?
So that was in maybe the end of November that we kind of made that decision. And then
2017.
And then we kind of spent a couple weeks just pitching, trying to develop how we can strip the TV show and what the movie would be. And then I would say we came back from the holidays, and so January of 2018, and we really started writing.
Okay. And what were the challenges there? Like, I mean, I can imagine you
so
expand,
many.
you have all these ideas, and you've been plotting it like this, and to have to condense all that into like now it's an hour and a half versus 6 hours or whatever it was going to be. Like
Our biggest concern was that we wanted to create characters that the audience really cared about. And our world is so bizarre and absurd that we felt like we had to be really careful to make sure that every aspect that is unusual is grounded in reality. So one of the most important things that we did was, before we wrote any dialogue, did anything, we created these long documents of what the themes of the movie would be, like what we were interested in exploring. We're both middle children from the Midwest, and we like joke that is like the beating heart of a lot of like what's in greener grasses.
Right.
Our observations growing up in these polite societies with families that are slightly communication challenged, like being straightforward, very polite, and everyone's like, it's so important to be kind and whatever, not be a tall poppy.
but this
etc.
underbelly of like everyone has a not so
Competition.
secret rivalry with each other. Yeah.
Value in odd places,
Yep.
a struggle with identity, how much like your identity is defined by the people around you, children being seen as pawns, men, husbands sometimes being seen as pawns, all of these things. So we really did a lot of work to outline those themes, and then we have a rule in our movie that nothing is weird for weird's sake.
I wanted to ask about that because
Yes.
Natalie mentioned that and you mentioned
Yes.
it last night.
It's very important to us.
Talk a little bit about that. Because I'm the type of person who's like, I don't really want to know what it all means. I just
Yeah.
want to be bombarded with it. I mean, we've been talking about David Lynch, and I think that's what's great about his movies is you never really know. And that's kind of what I love about Greener Grass as well, is you never really know. So I almost don't want to know anything, but at the same time, I don't know how to even ask the question without saying, like, explain it to me, because I don't want to know. But, like...
Well, we love so much people's theories about what it is,
Right.
too. And it's, for example, our sound mixer, Garrett Whitley, he feels that the film is about loss. And that he's like, sure, it's funny, but it's really a tragedy. And he believes that Jill has lost a child, and the whole movie is about her coping with that.
Okay.
We had this brilliant young woman, I think she was in high school, give us a theory that she was like, I know why everyone wears braces. These are all children, and they're playing what they think it's like to be an adult. We had people in Cleveland last week saying they think it's purgatory, etc.
Yeah.
So all these people get very we like what we see it draws out in people.
And I was gonna say, what's it like to hear all? Are you just kind of like, have you ever confirmed anything to anybody and then like,
we
yes?
don't think so. Our editor knows a lot
Okay.
of but he's very involved in the RCC. But
Like, Jocelyn and I have very specific reasons for everything and different specific theories and intentions, but we like that it doesn't have to be that for everyone. And
Right.
like you can take away from it what's meaningful to you.
Yeah.
the weird, not having weird for weird's sake is just we want to respect the audience who's coming to watch it, and we as writers don't want to write something that's just because it's so easy to write a movie where it's like, oh, and then her leg falls off, and then elephants walk in the room, and it's that would be so boring after 2 minutes if it's not rooted in anything real that has value and is interesting to explore. So we're not interested in that, and we don't think our audience is either.
So I think you don't care about the characters or what happens to them if any random thing on earth can happen. It's oh, well, then what are the rules?
Right.
Yeah.
And that gets old real quick.
Yeah.
So in terms of finding the balance of the humor, because it's so right from the get-go, I mean, it's hysterical, but was there a concern of kind of what we're talking about, the sense of people getting worn out in terms of finding the pacing of the humor? What were the challenges in that, and how did you find the beats so that you kept people caring while also introducing these really hysterical, like, bizarre moments?
It's definitely something that we talked a lot about in the writing, is not ever doing a joke at the expense of our character or at the expense of the world. So we wanted to make sure that anytime we were having a joke, it was like serving the larger picture and not throwing anything under the bus. But it's funny, we feel like so good about the pacing of the movie, and our editor Taylor Giannotis is just outstanding, and the three of us together like really poured over days and hours and months of trying to get that right. I would say a little bit, I don't know if this is like, Don and I have been live performers for years. So almost 10 years we've been performing live at the UCB. Both of us came up in improv and then did a lot of sketch. I still perform every Sunday improv at the UCB in LA. And I think when we write, we really talk about feeling the audience, because it's just something that when you've done a lot of live improv especially, I think you can kind of like feel when the audience is going to laugh. You can kind of feel, and you get an internal sense of the tension and release that is comedy. Yeah. And so it's something that we would talk about when we wrote, is like when we were writing, you know, when we're gonna break the tension. Right. When it's this.
And I think so much of like the way these characters communicate in this world is what happens, what they don't say, and what is going on the inside is so different from what is coming out of their mouths. Right. And I think we, like, in the edit and in the writing, really wanted to play with reactions and pauses and so you really have an indication on what's going on underneath, because these characters often don't speak to that.
Yes.
Very much.
So in terms of directing and taking that leap, quote unquote, what were some of the challenges you ran into? What's it like? What's your experience like, or what's your relationship with directing, and how do you divvy out tasks to each other? Do you handle actors, and do you handle technical stuff, or how does it work typically, or what's your collaboration like?
I would say, just first off, with the caveat that the people who directed our shorts, Paul Briganti and Mitch McGee, are two of our favorite collaborators ever, and we absolutely loved working with them. What was incredible for us when we started directing was cutting out that person in between our vision and the department heads and things like that, only because the two of us spend so much time talking about specifics and exactly how we want everything to be, and then for us to have to then explain it to the director, and then they also have their own vision, of course, that they want to put on it, but we're like, oh, that's not exactly how we were imagining it. You know, it was this incredible release, I think, to get to direct our writing, because we were like, this is how we want it, and yes, this and that, and our incredible department heads took those visions and heightened them. So that was nice. It's also incredibly stressful.
And in terms of like splitting things up, we don't. Like, this might sound like crazy, and maybe it is, but we really both do everything, and not at once. Like we aren't both shouting at an actor on set, but we both like really have a hand in all elements.
Yeah, we say that we're to think of us like one on set, and it's really good that we are Midwestern middle children, because we're very good at it's really important to us that we have one vision to all of our crew and the actors, and not negating each other.
And what was the biggest surprise in terms of filming? What kind of, as far as things that maybe you weren't expecting to be as wonderful, like the improv moment, like things like that, where maybe something exceeded your expectations, or you were kind of hoping for one thing and it became something even more wonderful?
In a very macro way, we had such high expectations for everything when we were writing. And then we started having budget meetings with our incredible producer, Natalie. And we started learning the limitations
Right.
of our budget. And we had some dark days in pre-pro where we were like, do we even want to do this? So we felt very much like our vision was going to be compromised. This is in the early days of pre-pro, and we
Okay.
were really nervous just because we didn't have that much money to make this movie. And so I would say one thing we kept saying to each other on set is like, so Lee Poindexter, our production designer, and Lauren Oppold, our costume designer, the two of them are truly responsible for the detailed, incredible look of the movie. And they blew us away. That was one of the biggest surprises, is how much they could do with the money that they had.
Yes.
And we would be on set and like honestly brought to tears, like when we would walk into one of our sets, we'd be like, is this our movie?
Oh.
This is so cool.
What they did was, I don't remember who said this. I think I heard it from Jocelyn, but is that like half of directing is hiring geniuses, and that it could not have been more the case on this movie in terms of just like, what each of the department heads brought was just a delight to see.
Yeah, we're so lucky because we had every like high expectation, and then they were able to match those and exceed them. So that was one of the best surprises. And I would say like Natalie is included in that. Our producer,
yes.
Lowell, our cinematographer, just little things like we had this vision of Beck in the pool. This is a spoiler, but you kind of see an underwater shot
Right.
of him. And the quote for what that was going to cost made it, we couldn't do it. And then Lowell said, I knew a trick. We'll get an aquarium, like a fish tank from Walmart. That's $70. And they put the Ari camera, the Ari Mini, in a fish tank. And that is that shot.
And then
Seriously?
It was like
yeah.
$70.
And
Oh
then
my
we
God.
returned the fish tank.
Yes,
So-
we returned the fish tank. That's
So it
right,
didn't
Natalie.
cost anything.
Yeah.
That's right.
So like, we're
Genius.
like, well, we can't afford an underwater camera.
Yeah.
And, like,
And let's just do an
Lowell's like,
aquarium.
no, we can still do it.
Yeah, we have so many examples of that. And I'm sure like we gave everyone like several gray hairs because we were like, we
Right.
need the underwater shot. There
Right.
needs to be a way. But it's the fact that we had department heads and a producer who were able to be like, we're gonna figure this out, is like the best gift that we could have ever received. We're so
Yeah.
lucky.
So were there any moments where you had to compromise where you were like, it really hurts it sounds like there were compromises being made across the board,
I
but
know
was
a
there one
stupid one.
was there one where it was like you were on set and you were like, fine.
This is a spoiler, is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
In the end of near the end of the movie, Jill breaks out of the bubble, so to speak. That is the greener grass town where you don't ever see any cars. It's just golf carts. And when she's in the real world, she drives her golf cart around, but then there are real cars. And there's a scene of her, this is like not a big deal in any way, but a scene of her in the diner. And there's a window behind her and you can see tons of cars, and we wanted her golf cart to be parked behind her. And the golf cart did not make it to set that day.
Oh, no.
And it's okay. Things like that happen.
Right.
But our set was quite far from, the golf cart was very far from where we were when we realized it wasn't there. And that was a compromise that we could have like delayed shooting, and we could have spent a lot of money to get a stake bed to bring it over, and we chose not to.
Yeah.
And it was a hard decision. But the fact that that's my example means we were really lucky.
Yeah.
We didn't have to
Yeah.
compromise that much.
Natalie, God bless her heart, just like made things happen.
Yeah.
Like, you'd think we would have a stack of things we couldn't get, and we got some version of most things we wanted.
Yeah, we really did.
It sounds like everyone was very like in tune with it, which is so cool.
You know, this doesn't speak to that question that much, but one thing that was really fun in the days that were the best on set is when we had the crew and the PAs, like the people that hadn't read the script. A lot of them, when they would start like really like having a hard time not
Yes.
laughing out loud during takes, and they would be so amused by like little pieces of dialogue or things going on that they didn't know about.
Right.
that like made our day when we had like the crew laughing.
And I guess when you started showing it and we talked a little bit about audience reaction at the beginning of this episode, but like in terms of seeing it with an audience for the first time, the nervousness of that, or wanting it to click and then seeing it click, what was the experience like for like realizing, okay, great, people are really responding to this?
I would say the premiere at Sundance, we were both like brain dead. I can't explain, like,
I felt out of body, just numb, like I totally not in the moment.
Yeah.
Kind of.
But it's so weird. Like, ever since that one, like, I would say just, like, if you were my therapist, I'd be like, that wasn't, like, the best experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though people
was
were laughing
hard.
so much. Like, I think it went great, but it was, like, it was just a weird experience. We
Right.
were, like, in the very back corner, and we couldn't hear that well. It was weird. But then every other screening at Sundance was, like, beyond our wildest dreams audience reaction. Like, people were like bonkers, like shouting stuff and like, you know, like just so involved in the movie. And then we were like able to relax and be like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah.
I think because we like had built up such a fear that like it didn't go well or something.
And I think we didn't really do screenings before Sundance. We were working on the movie.
We turned it in like the Tuesday before we premiered on a Friday,
Oh,
and
wow.
we weren't done. In fact,
Yeah, we did a lot of editing after Sundance.
yeah, we cut 6.5 minutes out after Sundance.
Oh, wow.
Which we were still just working. And then we have a sound mix for this movie next Tuesday. Like, we're still changing stuff. We still have changed the edits since the one that you've seen.
Is it frustrating to watch it and like keep seeing
Yes,
things
yes.
all that? Because I'm sure that
Like,
never
we're
ends.
moving.
Well,
That,
like as
but-
as directors, I'm sure that never. It sounds like that always happens because everyone says it's never like the movie's complete. It's just there's a deadline and you have to
Yes.
give it up.
Yeah.
So
We
is
work on it forever. I'm
Yeah.
positive. At least for like 3 more years.
Yes,
Every day.
it's so true. But we're turning it into IFC on May 1st, so that's
Okay.
why we're doing like the final touches, and then
it's
knock
off
on wood,
into
just
the big-
pencils totally down.
it's a big
Yeah.
kid. It's
Yeah.
off into the real
It's
world,
off
off to
into the
college.
real
Oh.
Yeah,
But that's exciting.
yeah.
So what did you learn? What are you gonna take with you? And are you gonna continue direct? I mean, this was clearly a positive experience. What do you want to do next?
Yeah, it's a good question.
The question.
We're working on our next feature. Yes.
Any
The writing
hints?
It has a sci-fi element.
Yeah. And I'd say it's quite different than Greener Grass.
Okay.
But like Greener Grass, it's a very unique world.
Satirical.
Yes.
But we're in such early days.
Yeah.
It's still
We're
okay.
no, we haven't started writing any dialogue in those brainstorming stages.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've learned we just love to direct. And
And then when is the movie gonna be officially released for people to see?
It will be later this year.
Okay.
We don't have an exact release date yet, but it will be a limited theatrical release and also available to get on iTunes and yeah.
Hulu is
All those
doing
cool
it with
spots.
IFC. Yeah, so we're really excited. This
Yeah.
is a film that is gonna survive on word of mouth. So
I think you have a safe bet. It's so much. It's one of those movies that like people. I feel like people who connect to it are really going to sing its praises. So I'm
thank you
excited.
for
Yeah.
saying that.
So yeah. And then last question.
Yeah.
And I warned you about this earlier. Missing frames. We watch all the movies we should have seen
Yes.
by this point in our lives. What are your missing frames?
Well, we both have the most. We're really embarrassed about this.
No, don't be
Yeah,
embarrassed.
it's not gonna make us look good.
No, and
It'll make you
if you
look
don't want to
great.
see our movie, that's okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I doubt anyone sees our movie and is like, they must have.
So the movie that we
This is for
haven't
both of
seen
you.
Yes,
that
it's
we
both of
should
us.
have is Citizen Kane.
Never seen it.
This interview's over.
It should be, quite frankly.
It's like,
That's
it's very embarrassing.
okay. And I'm going to say what everyone's probably said when you've told them this, which is like, you should.
Yeah.
But I won't lie. The first episode we did on Missing Frames was Citizen Kane, and we have a very in-depth conversation about why is it the greatest movie ever? What does it mean to be the greatest movie ever? But
oh my God.
Right.
Okay, well that makes us feel better. We're going to watch it and then listen to that episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, God, we were hanging out with him. How cool was that?
We will be.
We really will be.
But thank you both so much, Jocelyn, Dawn. Seriously, this movie is so much fun and so crazy. And I can't wait for other people to see it, and I can't wait to see what you two do next.
Oh my gosh.
So
thank
congratulations
you.
on all the awards, and yay!
Oh my gosh, we feel so honored to be featured on
I
your
feel so
podcast.
honored for you to be featured as well. Does that make sense? Yes. I'm honored. Everyone's on. This is great.